We're pleased to welcome once again Christy Biedron, who is Director of Education at Junior Achievement of New Jersey. Christy, good to see you.
Glad to be back. Thank you, Steve.
By the way, as we put up the website for Junior Achievement, tell everyone what it is and why it's an important organization.
Sure. Well, Junior Achievement's been around for 100 years. And what we've been doing for the past 100 years is connecting young people through adults as mentors and inspiring them to own their own economic success, whether it's the financial literacy, career readiness, entrepreneurship. In New Jersey, we've really been focused on building our state's economy, building that workforce pipeline, and inspiring and encouraging our young people to believe in their dreams and go get them.
Now, Christy, this interview is being seen on the back end of a forum on women's leadership. So I'm curious about something, the Junior Achievement Women's Future Leadership Forums. What are those forums, and how do they teach and promote leadership? I mean, as a student of leadership, our sister series, Lessons in Leadership, is always looking at different ways of teaching and promoting leadership, but with young women. How do you do it, and how do you know you're doing it?
It's all through mentorship, and it's about encouraging our young women to see what's possible, to get out of their comfort zone, to practice being comfortable to being uncomfortable, and connecting them with women who are achieving in fields that they're interested in. Here in New Jersey, as you know, we have so many STEM organizations, so many big finance companies, and sometimes it's hard for our young women that aspire to careers in those organizations to really find mentors, especially mentors who can kind of talk to them at their level, who can really inspire them and let them see what is possible. We've held our Women's Future Leadership Forums in person for a number of years. And when COVID hit and schools closed, we really wanted to continue that opportunity for our young people. And so we, as many of our other organizations did, we reimagined, we redeveloped the program, and we made it into a weekly virtual series where every week we bring together students from all across New Jersey with mentors from companies across New Jersey in a way that builds communities, strengthens people, not just the students, but the women as well, where we have interesting topics that are important for all of us to know, and then mentoring circles where we can all get together and talk about some of our goals, some of our challenges, and that our mentors in turn inspire our young people to really meet those goals and give them the tools and information that they need.
I mean, let me follow up on this. You use one of my favorite expressions in my work coaching and teaching about leadership and communication, the importance of, quote, getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'm not going to get into a philosophical conversation about it, but it's important. And I'm curious as to what it means to you. Like, I'll often get I'll ask people in forums who don't expect to be asked to stand up and talk about an issue I know they care about, or to tell us something about themselves, an opportunity for growth, et cetera, what they've learned. And they'll say, I'm uncomfortable. And my response is, okay, get comfortable being uncomfortable. But what do you mean by it?
Exactly. The same. That's the only way that we learn. We don't learn and we don't grow unless you get out of your comfort zone. And that is really one of the main themes throughout this year-long academy. And that's really what the students seem to take away the most. And they appreciated that opportunity to step out of their comfort zones. And they didn't really realize how important it was until they had that opportunity. So for example, one of our sessions has the students create and present their own personal elevator pitch. And when we do that in a virtual setting, you could be in a small mentoring group with people that you've never met before. And all of a sudden, you have to talk about yourself and talk about some kind of personal things. And for a lot of our students, just turning their cameras on was a challenge. And
just turning the camera. How about people who are 40 and 50 are saying, no, I'd rather join the meeting, no video. What?
Exactly.
Because I'm uncomfortable being on camera. You're talking about young. How young are the young women you're talking about right now?
These students are all in high school.
But you go even younger and push them, and they're older. But I often say to people, you just think people will grow out of it in every case just because they get older. That's not true. You need to be pushed.
You do, and exactly, and with the way things have been going this year, we've learned, and I know you know this, is that one of the keys to leadership is courage. And with everything that's going on, these leaders that are rising to the top, these leaders that are meeting the challenge, they're finding courage. It takes a lot of courage to lead when things are difficult. And so that's another big takeaway that we teach our students, that leaders don't necessarily have to have big titles. They don't necessarily have to have huge followings or any of the other accolades that we generally assign to leaders. It's all about having courage. And it's all about being there.
Courage to what, Christy?
Courage to make change, courage to make a difference, courage to step outside that comfort zone.
Courage to make decisions that sometimes make those around you not so pleased.
Exactly. And for us at Junior Achievement, we had to really rethink the way we provided programs. We had to move everything that we've had in person. We reached almost 90,000 kids prior to the pandemic in our in-person learning, in classrooms, in businesses, and at our education center. And we knew that we needed to continue that even more now than ever, because our students need those life skills that they learn from Junior Achievement. They need that inspiration. So we spent the full year really focusing on how do we make this virtual? How do we change this? And for us, it took a lot of courage, and we had to learn a lot of new things. And we really were able to share that with our volunteer mentors. I mean, we had, for this program alone, we had over 600 mentors, men mentors, who joined us for a session from companies and organizations across New Jersey. And our volunteers really appreciate the opportunity to connect with students in a virtual setting. And for some of them, it was a change as well. Even our featured speakers, we had to kind of say, we had to give them some coaching and let them know that it was going to be okay, because it is a whole different world.
Before I got a minute left, Chris, can you tell me real quick about the Advanced Leadership Initiative? What is it, and when is it kicking off?
Right. So we have, and again, we've been reimagining this program since the beginning. So we envisioned having, maybe 200-300 students participate. We ended up having over 3,000 participants throughout the year. And many of those students, they wanted more than just to sit and enjoy a virtual session. They wanted to do more. So we created a program where they could submit it like a capstone project. And then we're going to take those students, we had 126 students, take that extra step to become involved. So we're going to take that cohort of young women in New Jersey who are really poised to be our next generation of leaders and create something that's specific just for them, that takes it a step further, where they can share, again, what they've learned, even with their younger peers. So next year, those students could be the mentors themselves to our students. Because as you know, we learn best from our peers. And that's where it's coming from. Hearing that student voice is so important, and we're trying to capture that as much as.
Hey, as a student of leadership, as a teacher of it, who's someone who makes mistakes as a leader every single day, and tries to learn from that and teach others, cannot thank you enough, Christy, for the work that you and your colleagues at Junior Achievement in New Jersey are doing. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate the time.
I'm Steve Adubato. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Bank of America, NJM Insurance Group, ADP, Seton Hall University, Hackensack Meridian Health, Johnson & Johnson, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare, and by the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and by New Jersey Family Magazine.
Many of New Jersey's children have been affected by COVID-19, but now that there's a safe and effective vaccine available for children ages 12 and older, you can help make COVID-19 history by getting yourself and your child vaccinated. Let's end this pandemic together and help all children get back to being kids. Visit hackensackmeridianhealth.org/COVID-19 to learn more or to schedule a vaccine appointment today.